McCown takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown!
What's up? Welcome to the Bush League Sports Show. We are the best B-rated sports show live on Facebook and YouTube every Monday night at 8:45. I'm here in Studio 725, live and in person with Dr. Moonlight Graham, drinking once again. Nope. My boy Pepper. Stats. Produce over there, producing the show. What shirt are you wearing tonight? It says Emo Night? Emo Night.
Emo night.
Man, why I looked at that and didn't think the word emo,
Emanite,
but rather thought Ema. Who's Ema?
Or Emanite, like a type of rock.
Is that Emanite rock shirt?
Nope.
Ooh,
I mean, like physical rock, like a geode.
like
Is
a
that an
geode
actual rock called emonite?
Yeah,
That sounds like something it would
it's
be.
Oh.
it is actually the what's it called when something turns into a rock?
petrified.
It's the petrified Three Musketeers party version size snacks of fun.
I'll tell you what, I'm petrified.
Yeah, you are. You know what's petrified is that beer bottle over there that you're drinking. Give the viewers a peek of that joker.
And a peek of the window.
That's old school bottle right there, baby. Oh.
We got the window in there.
The
We
window is
got a window
peeking in.
crack.
The window is peeking
Gotta
in.
watch out for the crack.
Hey, so what a great day. It's Monday, and yesterday was Sunday, which meant it was $9 nacho night at Medea Scratch Kitchen. Let me let you guys in on a secret. Medea Scratch Kitchen in Grapevine. There's other places that have the same restaurant. It's not cheap, right? It's not a cheap place to eat. However, if you call and get a takeout order of a bowl of queso, the queso's $9. $9 for queso.
Wow.
However, you know what comes with the queso? The chips and the salsa and free tortillas. So we get, as a family, we buy a bowl of queso for $9, and then I ask for 2 different sets of chips and salsa, and then we order 4 different packages of tortillas that feeds the whole family for Sunday night for $9 from Medea Scratch Kitchen. This is what's funny, though. We've done it so many times now. I walked in, I walked up to the bar, paid for it, signed the whole thing, and the guy bartender goes, "Hey, man, see you next week." And I walked out. And so he was like, there he is, $9 nacho guy is coming in again on Sunday night.
Back again.
So back again for some fun. If you don't know, tonight is opening night for the Amarillo Sod Poodles.
Woo!
The inaugural Welcome to Hodgetown Stadium, Amarillo, Texas. Shout out. We are the official, unofficial podcast, videocast of the Amarillo Sod Poodles. Shout out to the Padres AA team. We have been supporting them now for years. In years, it feels like, even though it's their first season and first home game ever in the existence of the organization. Regardless, at some point in time, I will be catching the first pitch, full uniform, all catcher's equipment, and Stats will probably be throwing that pitch because you have the best arm of the arms in the room.
That's what it feels like, a long time, like the years that we've been supporting them.
Yeah.
That's what AAA does to you.
Yeah.
I mean, just a few weeks feels like years.
The multiple DMs I've sent them without a response
Over
feels
the years.
like years. But yet, here we are still supporting. So if you've not made it out to a game yet because it's opening night, then give that a shot and see what happens. So some great things coming up. The whole point of the show, HOLE-POINTE. The whole point of the show is for you as sports fans to be able to share your thoughts and opinions during the show. And so you can do that.
So many times on First Take today, they said the whole point.
Again,
I think I counted 6 times. Whole point.
There's
They didn't spell it out, but they said whole point.
Somebody's watching.
somebody has to be.
This is the 6th time. I did a watch party this week, like midweek, just to see if we could generate some more views. And somebody was watching, and said, like, when we were making comments about ESPN copying us, they were like, seriously? And I was like, no, for real. It's like at least 5-6 times we've done something, and then within the next 2 weeks, they have followed up and repeated what we did. Like, they repeated our bit or something we said or fill in the blank.
This is not a joke. This is real life. This is my life.
This is happening to us on a regular basis. So ESPN, First Take, Stephen A., we are coming at you.
And also, if any of our listeners are lawyers, we need some free work. We'll give you a shout out.
Our lawyer actually does watch a little bit. So I was talking to her a couple weeks ago about the show, and she was like, "Oh, this is the thing you guys are." So,
it's a real thing.
Oh, so that's what's happening every time I get a notification. I said, "Yeah." She said, "This is amazing." So yeah, are you wearing Warby Parkers right now?
I am. Are these the same glasses you have?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Mine are fatter. They look great on you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I ordered them. I was like, oh wait, are they the same ones that Case has?
No, yours are a little bit thinner.
Yeah, these were one of the few that actually fit my face. They come really skinny.
And you have a nice face.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
You have a nice face.
Hey, thank you. There's a lot of encouragement going on right now.
Y'all want to do the rest of the show together? Or?
Hey, why don't you give us,
Just cut to the camera that's with just them two and my little loud.
Give me camera 2 real quick.
Camera 2.
That's all we need.
Hey.
It's the Blake and Kay show tonight.
Welcome to the Bush Boys.
This is the Bushy comment, and I don't mean like we're giving comments, but it's comments that are compliments that we'll be doing all night long tonight. So I'll start. Man, I really like that hat you're wearing. That orange accentuates the T-shirt you're wearing, that you can do all things through Christ.
But only in sports.
Only in sports, because Jesus only cares about sports, just like us. All right, give us a rundown.
Okay.
All right, if I have to do something.
It's like it's my job.
Push a button.
That wasn't supposed to sound like that, by the way.
Are you freaking kidding me right now? Like, I got to talk?
What am I, on a podcast or something? Good Lord.
You say that like you weren't expecting to talk. Like, oh, we do this again?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have to do this every week?
Seriously? This is show 40. What is this? 7?
3.
43. Yeah,
Yes.
easy.
Name it 47, but it's actually 43. It's kind of like Topless Hole 6. Regardless.
Can I do the rundown?
Yep.
Okay, so we're talking about the original Canoe, AB, bashing JuJu.
KBO.
We're also talking about the Jets. We have a special guest on the show today.
Come on with it.
Zachary Oof. Already forgot how to pronounce his last name.
Medeiros.
Medeiros.
I got you.
Yep, there it is.
Hey, he's from Canada.
He is from Canada.
He's legitimately from Canada.
And you have to say it with the accent.
From Canada.
Medeiros.
That's the accent. Yeah. We're also talking about AAF. We're talking about March Madness, of course, because that's what's going on right now. We're talking about the Warriors and the Rockets, and we're talking about Mike Trout, Harper, the usual suspects. Whenever we're talking about MLB, and we're talking about NHL.
Can we
Quack.
can we from now on, Quack, just say the usual suspects when we get to MLB? Like,
Yeah.
we're not even gonna give it. It's like MLB usual suspects, and then we keep moving. That's fine. We are the ESPN of B-rated podcast, not because of the quality, but because of the repetitiveness of what we talk about with MLB.
Every time.
But we don't care.
Airtime.
Why? Because it's fun. We like it. Okay, cool. How's everybody doing tonight?
Glad to be here.
Yeah?
I'm well.
I'm actually a little surprised you showed up. I figured you'd be at home watching the Tech game.
No,
he's here watching
If this was football though, if they were playing in the national championship,
we wouldn't be on the air. I don't think any of us would be.
You and I would be at the game
Yeah.
if Tech was playing.
Probably.
but this is basketball, so
Yeah, so we care.
ish.
Yeah.
I really have enjoyed. I said this before. I enjoyed the basketball that I have watched, and I was
Me too. Surprised.
yeah. It's been fun.
I see why people like this thing.
Yeah,
I
it's-
see why there's a couple people that watch it.
Yeah, now there's the appeal. Yeah, there it is.
I seen it.
Oh, I synced it. Watch out, guys. Last time he sank it. All right. let's get into this thing. We're gonna bring on our boy Zach Medeiros, who is a punter kicker from the CFL. He plays for the Toronto Argonauts.
There it is.
There it is. I didn't know. Like that's a big word, and you guys know I haven't read a lot of words in my life, and that was a big one when I got there. I was like, like I gotta say that out loud.
Phone a friend.
So
Lifeline.
you want to dial him up?
Yeah.
Dial
I'm
him
good.
up. Why don't you give us some stats on our boy Zach from Canada?
Zach from Canada. Ooh, what fun words. Okay, so we played 11 games last season. He's net yards of kicking. Punting is 2,062. Gross yards, 2,717. And average is 46.1. And as long as almost 70 yards. Pretty good kick right there.
I love it. 70 yards?
Yep, 69.
Zach, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? You guys talking about my stats right now?
Yeah, we
What's going
are.
on?
We are. I want to know if you what are the distinct memories you have of that 70-plus yard? Was it a punt or a kick?
69-yard punt.
The 69-yard punt. That's a boot.
Oh, jeez. I'm trying to remember this. 69. Oh, this is CFL, right?
Yes, this
I thought
season.
maybe it was like a clip you guys saw on YouTube. Yeah, so, I remember that I was with Ottawa, and pretty sure that game was against Saskatchewan. So, out here in Canada on the West Coast, especially on the prairies, it's just this constant gusty wind. And as much as I love to take credit for a 16-yard, 9-yard punt, all the way in the air, no bounce, no nothing. I think it went a decent amount. I think it went about maybe 58, 60 yards maybe, and then it bounced and took a little roll, but it definitely had a nice 180 as well.
That was a
Nice.
Jesus take the wheel punt. That was a
much.
Jesus
Well, you know
take the
what
ball
happened,
punt.
actually? I got like a pretty good hold of it. I'm like, holy cow, like even caught me off guard. Like, okay, that's way up there. And then the returner actually kind of lost it and then the lights a little bit because I saw him kind of moving up and I'm like, what is he doing? Like, it's going to go over his head. And he kind of backed up and then like it went by him a few more yards. I'm like, okay, well, that's just going to add to my average. So thank you.
Hey, idiot. Judge a
Yeah,
ball.
exactly. I'm like, hey, you know what? Yeah. At first I was like, why am I wanting to catch it? Yeah, no, keep doing that.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So, guys, we've got Zach on from up in Canada, up north. Which one? Clearly, he's an honest man because, dude, nobody down here would have known anything you just said
I
about the West and the plains and wind. So, hats off to you for honesty to begin with. But we brought Zach in. If you want to follow him, it is on Instagram. He's zmedeiros90. You can go check him out. He's got some cool stuff going on his Instagram. But we brought him in. He reached out a couple weeks ago and just said, hey, I kick for the CFL and want to do some stuff in sports broadcasting. So he and I hooked up on the phone, had a good conversation. And so we're bringing him in today. He obviously has a depth or breadth of knowledge in football. And also he's a huge hockey fan. And
Now
so,
we're talking.
Yeah.
All right.
We're actually going to hit NFL and then we're going to transition into NHL so that you guys can go back and forth some.
Sweet.
You can have some intelligent conversation.
Finally, nobody
Zach.
here listens to a word I say about hockey.
Quack.
Two people on here have
Quack.
arbitrarily decided to be Anaheim Ducks fans
Ooh,
during
that's
their
tough.
worst season. Which I mean,
Because
I guess
they're real fans.
We're real fans.
Yeah, apparently.
Well,
And
you
like
must
the
be
Mighty
pumped
Ducks.
then about Dallas sneaking in the playoffs. Well, not sneaking. I think they got the second wild card spot, right?
They got
it in
they
there.
got the first wild card, and they were actually for a while there. They were looking like they could get number 2 or number 3. It was really close between Nashville and St. Louis.
Hold on one second.
I think we've reached our limit on hockey
Yeah,
talk.
that wasn't a transition to hockey. So, Zach,
Yeah.
the way that we transition to hockey is we go through a quacking cheer that Blake actually leads, and then we make him take his shirt off because we make him go topless to talk about hockey. We won't make him do that tonight, but that's typically how we start. So, NFL,
It's not.
I want to hit this stuff on AB. AB fires at JuJu this week. What in the world is going on with Antonio Brown and his passionate hate and just coming at guys with consistency? Even it should be over now, right?
it should be.
Why did it start?
It should be. And you know what? I think we already talked about this. I grew up as a Steelers fan. My whole household, minus my dad, he's an Eagles fan. God bless him. But everyone else there is a Steelers fan, right? So yeah. But I mean, for the past 9 seasons he's been with the Steelers. I even have his jersey. Like that's the first jersey I ever got was an AB jersey. And obviously I don't know him personally, but just based off the way he kind of conducts himself on and off the field, he seems like a pretty stand-up guy and very humble guy for how talented he is. And at some part, during the latter part of last year, especially that game against New Orleans, like something just seemed off. Like going into that final week against Cincinnati, and this is what kind of really boils my blood a little bit. This might turn to like a bit of a rant story, but me being a kicker, I've been cut 3 times, right? I've been to open tryouts. I've had to pretty much do everything you could think of just to get on the roster, right? So, and especially for our living, we're a dime a dozen. And for a guy like AB, I mean, geez, he arguably is the best athlete and the best football player in the NFL, right? So he can have, he has everything he wants. And you go into a game, he's not banged up or injured or anything. That I was under the impression he was hurt, because I'm like, AB would never sit out a game in his life.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when the playoffs are at stake. They still had a good shot to get it, and they won that game against Cincinnati, and they're waiting for the final of the Baltimore and Cleveland game, I believe. And then Baltimore ended up being Cleveland. But once I found out, he was just being a childish and baby, and him and Tomlin, the whole thing with Ben, that whole thing, they weren't getting along. It's like, okay, you can't put that aside for one more game. It's like, you know what? During the offseason, do it wherever the hell you want. Go wherever you want. But one more game, finish it off. If your team gets in the playoffs, great. If not, whatever. But at least you were there and you were part of the process. And, right? And you put everything you had into it. But this guy, for how much he makes, and for all these kids that look up to him, and even guys like me who had to, just blood, sweat, and tears get onto a roster, and you're going to sit out a game, like, that's the most disrespectful thing you could do. And I mean, like, you guys know, being a part of a team, like, you don't want to be around that guy afterwards.
No.
You know what I mean? It's insane. So when you think about that, it's like, what are you doing? And then I think once that whole thing came about, that completely changed my perception of him. And then obviously seeing these tweets with him and JuJu, he just taking shots at him for no reason. Pretty much how that started, I think it started with him not getting the 2018 most outstanding player for Pittsburgh, and then I think people were taking shots at him, saying, "Oh, JuJu got over you," and he didn't like that too much, saying, "Oh, well, he pretty much put it against JuJu and not about that fumble, that kind of against New Orleans when they kind of coughed that up, and that pretty much solidified their fate for the year at that point." But yeah, it just doesn't seem right, and yeah. That's all I really have to say about it. I'm even just talking about it right now. I'm super flustered about it. I'm just thankful he's gone.
So did you weren't one of the fans that ended up burning your AB jersey, were you?
No, I still have it.
Yeah, thank you.
But
thank you for not doing that.
It may be. Yeah. It may be happening in the future.
Yeah.
You know what though, guys? With that being said, obviously, I'm gonna make it sound like he's like part of the army here. Like, I'm so thankful for his service that he gave to the Steelers. right. For 9 years, he was an absolute beast on the field. It just sucks that the way it ended. Right.
Yeah.
It could have been better. It could have been a much smoother process. It's like, he could just been sick of, I want to go somewhere else where it's warmer, or just like a change of scenery. Which is, like, it happens. I get it. Like, sometimes we all need change. But just the way it ended, and he started putting the blame game on like Big Ben and Mike Tomlin. It's like, what are you doing? Like, act like a pro. Like, you're in your 30s now. Like, you're not 17. Like, grow up.
Yeah. I think what's sad about the whole thing, what you just said, like, he's played 9 years for the Steelers and been a monster. And at the same time, like, this right here is what's going to be remembered by the majority of people. And the way things are true. I mean, look at T.O. Same thing. The guy was a monster with San Francisco. He was a monster with Philadelphia. And what do we remember from that? We remember he was a total diva, and he couldn't hang out in the locker room. And it completely takes away from – and that guy, T.O., worked his butt off and still is. I mean, the guy's still, like, grinding away.
Jacked.
And at the same time, we miss – all of that. We miss getting to celebrate that because of the attitude and the divaness that goes with it. And I think the same thing's going on with AB. It's just like that whole D-canoe thing going on. He's just
the attitude,
rowing down that river, man.
No, it's true. And you know what? And like I've dealt with guys kind of like AB over the past, where it's like you look at me like, man, like you have so much damn ability. Like you have, you know what I mean? Like, and they don't even know it. And all they really have to do is just coexist with the locker room, and will embrace you and love you forever. But like they want to separate themselves and think, hey, like I'm way above you. It's like we're all in the same team here. Like everything is the same goal. Like, what are you doing? You know? And when you have players like that, you know, that's when it's time to go. Because at the end of the day, it's just a cancer in the locker room.
Yeah.
So, Zach, a player like that, does he have a nickname with the last name football in it?
There it
Say
is.
that again, sorry?
So
a guy like that, does he happen to have a nickname where football is part of his name?
He's referring to Johnny Football.
Yeah, let me just do a quick setup for you.
Think of that. is that how we're kind of segueing here, going straight into that? Okay.
Here's what you
wanna
need to
keep on the
know.
rant.
Here's what you need to know about Dr. Graham. He's not great with words.
I'm not a wordsmith.
Especially if he has to speak them. And so when he plans things out, they don't for years. I've known Blake since he was 13 years old, and he's never been good with preparing words and then speaking them.
I over-prepared in my head. Like, it works up here, and then as soon as it goes to the mouth,
It's downhill
done.
from
We
there.
literally used to have a breakfast every Tuesday morning that we called the Weekly Dose of Slam, which was in reference to Blake's bad jokes that he would tell every Tuesday morning, and it just regardless. So Johnny Football goes from being like, he gets drafted by the Browns here, and then goes through that whole mess. He's there for 2 years. Then he's out of football for 2 or 3 years. Decides, hey, I'm going to get my life together, revives it. He goes to the Spring Football League, plays 2 games. I didn't even know that thing existed, which, you know, hats off to Johnny for giving that thing some exposure. And then he gets a chance to go play in the CFL, which is not an unheard of thing. Like, that's happened multiple times to guys that played in the NFL who go to Canada, get a couple reps there, and end up coming back and having great careers. So it looked like, okay, maybe he's on some kind of trajectory. Good news is we've got Zach here who has some buddies that actually played with Johnny Football, and so wanted to get your take on, tell me what kind of guy this is, because we only see, you know, from the news perspective, we don't have any insight other than what we see on TV.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, to my knowledge, he's a great guy, great in the locker room. It just seems to be the off-field issues that keep biting him in the ass day in, day out, right? I mean, even getting him into the CFL, I know that was quite a process, and like he had to wait to hear back at the league after months, just to make sure everything was like cleared, like off the field, his addiction that most people are aware of, all those things, right? And obviously when he came in, it also helps CFL as a league for marketing purposes to bring him in too, right? I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
So when he came to Hamilton, it was a big deal, obviously. And no, he did a good job. You know, I watched him. So when I was in Montreal for training camp, we played against him in preseason. He looked good. I was like, okay, this guy, you know, especially with his skill set, because to be a quarterback in the CFL, well, one, you need to have a strong arm, and you need to be mobile. And he checks off both those boxes. And he brings a lot more to that too. He makes guys miss. You know, he's able to slow the game down to his pace and pretty much turn to backyard football, which he's best known for doing. And just
Yeah, for sure.
you know, his game is you know, essentially based off improv, right?
Do you think, just to stop you for 1 second, do you think that his game is better suited in Canada than it is down here, or like, what is that kind of quarterback athlete? Would he fit better there than the NFL?
I think right now if he was still in the league anyway, but yes, I think if he was still in the CFL, he definitely fits the CFL better. But I think that would help him prepare him and help him mature in the NFL, because he still showed spurts in the NFL where he made good throws and made the right reads and all that stuff where he could succeed down the road, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the thing is with him, so getting to that whole part where, he went to Hamilton, everything looked good. And then he got traded to Montreal, and Montreal gave up a lot to get this guy. They gave up 2 first-round picks, a starting wideout at the time, and a starting national D-end, national meaning Canadian D-end, which are hard to come by, especially as a starter, because normally that's an American position in the CFL. Yeah, in the CFL. So when they gave up those prospects for him, it's like, okay, they're going all in on this guy. Like, this is going to be their starter for the next 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And I think he got hurt when he first came in, but we only got a small sample size, right? I think Johnny only ended up playing 5 games, and I mean, it's safe to say that he did okay. He was average. I wouldn't say he was there's no stats that are off the charts, eye popping, right? He did okay. So he was going into his final year here, I know, which would have been this year, and I think he was due $400K, which is a pretty good amount. I mean, compared to what he was getting.
Is that Canadian dollars or U.S.?
That's Canadian dollars.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And
which is like
well,
$350.
It's a lot more than what he would have got in the AAF, right?
sure.
So when he left for that,
Absolutely.
I was like, okay, like what's going on here? I didn't understand it, but he goes there and did he only play 2 games or 1 game?
He played. He was down here for 2. He didn't play.
He got a concussion his second game.
Yeah, got a concussion, but he played sparingly the first one. He played like 5, like little spurts in the first game, and then he got hurt in the second game, and then the league folded.
Jesus
So it's
Christ,
you're like, well, all right.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It sucks because, dude, guys, I'm a Johnny fan. I want him to succeed and take that next step. You know what I mean? Especially the way he plays. Like, for as much bullshit as he's been through, he seems like a great leader. And the guy plays fearless, which it kind of works for him and against him. I mean, the guy should probably learn how to slide. Avoid those, that
Clearly,
type of
by the
contact, especially for his
concussions.
size.
He needs to
He's
learn
not
how to
a very
tackle,
big dude.
too.
But you have to appreciate his effort anyway on the field. So, I mean, but
Yeah.
he just seems to always keep making the wrong choices. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's a proverb that says a dog will return to his vomit, and that seems to be something that Johnny does with great consistency. And so obviously they didn't release the CFL did not release what offense he committed that then made him ineligible to play any longer, which is why they let him go. And then what's funny though is the AAF. Like, our standards are so high for American football that you guys kicked him out, and then we were like, no, it's okay. Let's bring him in and let him play the AAF because he's going to sell tickets. Which, if you saw any of the background shots of his second game, there were roughly 6 fans in the stadium as they drug him off with the concussion as he's walking off with trainers. Like, we did an Instagram meme post on it, and there are 6 fans in the background. 6.
Wait,
That's bad.
So why did it fold? I'm just-
Let me repeat. 6 fans were in the stadium. So the AAF folds, which this is interesting, man. When that thing came out, I felt like we in America, as we watched it be announced, it was like the AAF is coming and the XFL is coming. The XFL is taking more time to get ready, which the XFL has already made a run. You know, when I was in high school, it was in 1999, they made a run, and they overpromised and they underdelivered. If you saw that 30 for 30 or 60 minutes or whatever it was that they did on that thing, it actually was it was educational.
It was cool.
Yeah, on what happened. And so McMahon has decided, hey, I'm going to do this again, which it's like, once again, like, hey, idiot, not JK, what are you doing right now? But he's at least taking his time to get ready. Where the AAF, it felt like, hey, we're thinking about having a minor league football, and we're actually starting next month.
Actually,
so y'all get ready. We're going to pick our teams. Go. And clearly they didn't have the backing. The guy that came in with a ton of funds, he came in and dropped, I don't know, like $70 million or something like that to try to pull it out after week 1.
So he gave them a $250 million credit.
Okay.
So basically, he said, "I will give
But
you
that
up
was
to
over the
250."
course, like 3 years, right? I
Correct.
think he was going to do that in
No, so he did
installments.
Yeah, so like over the past
He
past
lost
8
70
weeks,
though, right?
he lost $70 million.
Dang.
Wow.
That's a lot. I mean, that guy's got to be intelligent to have a $250,000 to go, hey, I'm going to invest.
He owns the Carolina
Yeah.
Panthers, a hockey team.
Yeah.
If you don't, hey, Case. So there's a hockey team in Carolina.
Hold on, pause.
Wait, time out.
Called the what?
Hold on.
The Panthers.
Zach, are you aware of this?
He owns the Hurricanes.
I'm sorry, the Hurricanes. The Panthers are a football team.
Yeah.
My bad.
Sorry.
Come on.
I think there's like
Dr.
2 of them,
Idiot.
but he's the majority owner.
Give me the
of
camera.
Hurricanes.
Give me the camera. No, we started this show. We were doing a compliment show. We own a sports podcast, and you're the hockey guy, and you just said the Carolina Panthers, and thank goodness we got Zach from Canada to correct you. Dear goodness, because none of us would have known.
My bad.
You're
That's
a
my
It's all right.
doctor,
He's
for
loyal
Pete's
to
sake.
like Dallas and no one else.
Well-
I respect that.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Also, in my defense, ESPN keeps making that same mistake. Everybody keeps saying the Panthers.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're watching too much
ESPN,
then.
we're coming after you. Hey, Zach, are you a Stephen A fan? Because you guys both are Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mind Stephen A.
Okay.
Yeah.
He hates us.
Oh,
He said
is he?
it.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh man, he passionately like
Did you
I
guys
go
after him.
no. Well, yeah. So
Yeah,
but
every show we pretty much.
never except when we're on air, and then we kind of go after him. But I go back and forth. Like I'll watch First Take, and I'm like, I really like Stephen A. and I respect his opinion, and I don't like. I can't remember his name for some reason, Max Kellerman. And then it'll switch. Like 2 weeks later, like Max is talking. I'm like, dude, that guy's a genius. Like I totally agree with that. And then Stephen A. goes off on Cowboy fans. I'm like, but I didn't even do anything. Like we sucked this year. Why are you yelling at us again? So, anyways,
Yeah. If you're gonna say Skip Bayless, then no, I would have left this conversation.
No.
But
No. I do respect the fact that Skip Bayless will wear Jordan 11s with a suit. Like, hats off to that man because he's too old. He's white. Has he ever picked up a basketball before? But dear goodness,
No,
I'm gonna rock my
Doesn't
J11s.
He like claims to be like a state championship too, which there's no proof behind that in high school.
Hey, you know we've got an acquaintance. His name is Coach Jimmy, who claims to have won multiple state championships in Texas. But there, like again, there's no proof. But he
had
keeps
a lot
running
of
with
success.
Success in his day. All right, let's go. Let's go. Jets' new uniforms. Has everyone seen these?
Yes.
I don't mind them. I think that they look a lot better than the ones they had before.
Yeah, I don't know why people are hating on them so much.
Well, it's an upgrade, but they're still ugly. Like just because.
And they're also still the Jets. I don't even care if they have
exactly.
Lev Bell now.
No.
They're still gonna suck.
They did not get better having him.
No. I mean, like a little bit because he is good, but I mean, okay. What about the O line?
Yeah. What about their defense? I mean,
What about their defense?
What about
Exactly.
their
Like
new head
you have to
coach?
start adding pieces there. You're not just gonna get those guys in the draft and be like, oh, here you go, problem solved. Like no, you have to kind of build on that over the years. You know, one running back and one defensive free agent is not going to change your problems.
Agreed. And coach that gets high apparently before
that too.
news
Yeah.
God, he looked nuts.
he looked blitzed out of his mind in that conference. Like, there's whatever. So I'm surprised they didn't test him.
Just a rebuild year.
The uniforms look like UNT to me, though.
Exactly.
It's always a rebuild year with them, though. How many teams say that? The Bills, even though I know that they made the playoffs a couple years ago, but still, like they had no business being there. But I feel like every year, we're rebuilding. Really, you've been rebuilding for the past 20 years?
Yeah, they've been rebuilding since they got beat by Dallas in the Super Bowl the last time.
God. Well, it's like
Dallas
Cleveland
has
too.
been
Like Cleveland hasn't been in the playoffs since like 2002.
Whoa.
Okay, so let's.
17 years.
This was
17
on
years.
our text thread. We've got a text thread that we have going all the time, talking about what's happening, which we're preparing for the show. Dr. Graham texted today. This stuff about Alex Berkman, who is a
Bregman,
who is a third base. I don't read the last part of the word. I just don't read, so I just guess.
You don't read, and Dr. Graham doesn't speak.
That's why I called Zach earlier today. And I was like, "Hey, pronounce your last name so I say it right on the show." We had to go over it multiple times, so I didn't look like an idiot trying to say it. Regardless, so
I was the one
Instead,
that looked like
produce
the,
did it.
yeah, so you did. So the third baseman for the Astros went to school with two of the receivers from the Cleveland Browns. He went to school with
Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham at LSU. And so he's come out and said, I'm saying the Browns are taking the Super Bowl. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Give us.
Okay, you mind if I touch on this really quick?
Yeah, do it.
So that their head coach, Freddie Kitchens, is that his name, I believe?
Yes.
It is.
Really? Okay, so he got promoted from QB coach to head coach, correct?
Yeah, he served as
Now
interim when
You
Hugh
tell
Jackson
me
got
now,
fired.
how is he going to deal with mind you, he has to keep these guys it's the exact same thing that we were talking about with Pittsburgh. You have guys like Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt now. We know about his issues.
Yeah.
How are you going to have that locker room in check the entire year? How is that going to work?
That's gonna be hard.
Lots of prayer.
That is going to be super hard. I
Which-
mean,
Open a prayer.
the talent's there. Like the talent's there. But
What?
I mean, how are you going to get them like on that even keel line the entire season to remain focused on the one goal playoffs and not just like me. I want to get my stats up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have to make it about the team and not just I.
That's what I was saying. Is like I think we all need to pump the brakes a little bit. I think they have the talent there to go to a Super Bowl. I mean, they are so talented on offense, but we haven't seen them actually on the field yet. We don't know how they're all going to work together and perform. And so, like I said, let's let them have a winning season. Let's let them actually make playoffs first before we say Super Bowl.
Super Bowl champ.
This is the beauty of being a Browns team, is that you go out and you put that jersey on and you remember that you are still a Cleveland Brown. You are not the New England Patriots where everyone is watching you. You're wearing that orange awful uniform and you need to humble yourself. So that's why they sign these superstars. If there's any team that can do it, so they can be humble. Exactly.
Well, you need to give the fan base, the dog pound, something, because they've been miserable for so long.
Those are real fans.
Yeah.
Those are real fans.
Those are dedicated fans. You know what? As much as I do not lightly Cleveland, obviously I'm a Steelers fan, they've been the basement of the AFC North for years now. No one takes them seriously. Like, let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
So now they have all these players, and it's like, okay, they're like starting to make some noise, but I'm just wondering what that team camaraderie is going to be like, and that chemistry is going to be like, because it can go one or two ways. We've seen teams over the years stack up on players, and it goes absolutely nowhere. So
yeah, that happened with Philly a few years ago. It was like, hey, these guys are all-star team, ready to go, bought a Super Bowl, and did they even make the playoffs that year?
I don't think so.
No.
But then the Rams last year, I will say the Rams did it this last year, and they're like, all right, here we go, we're making our run, and they got about as close as you can get while the Patriots are still alive.
With
They
a
also
call.
had Sean McVay and Wade Phillips. I think that's the only difference, though, right? I mean,
you've got an expert coaching your defense. I mean, as bad as Wade Phillips was as a head coach here in Dallas, he's in
Houston.
He is in.
He was D coordinator.
He was D coordinator. He was good. He was good in
Their
Houston.
defense was good.
Yeah, he's a great defensive mind, but horrible head coach.
You gotta know your market, and you gotta know what your job. Like, you have to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for 3 months now that track has started, and so if like
100%,
you gotta
100%
you gotta know your job. So Zach isn't gonna go out and play quarterback and take over Johnny's job. Why? Because he's a kicker. Like, he knows his lane, and he's gonna stay there, and he's gonna excel there. You are a doctor, and so you're gonna stay in your lane. You're gonna deal with being a doctor in sports therapy and medicine,
and not talk.
And when you do talk, let's limit it to hockey and to Astros baseball, and you're pretty sharp. Don't talk about other teams, though, in hockey, and name their towns and mascots, as we've proven tonight. So same thing with Wade. Like, Wade was not a great head coach because the job is completely different than a DC. It just is. And
some guys are just meant to be coordinators. It's like Todd Haley in Pittsburgh. Great OC was he, but I mean, not the greatest head coach when he was in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you said, stay your lane, and then everything will work out for the best, and you have a long career. Just don't get too giddy. You know what I mean? Just don't get too excited. Just I understand everyone wants to be that head guy. It's like whoa. You know what? Just this is what you're best at. Stay there. It's a difference. Do you want to be coaching for another 10 years, or do you want your career to be over now?
Yeah, or 10 months.
It's like Han Solo said to Luke Skywalker, "Don't get cocky, kid."
Did he say that?
He did.
Yep.
I don't remember when, but I remember he said it.
Episode 4, when they're shooting down the TIE fighters after they leave the Death Star, and Luke Skywalker gets one, and Han turns to him and said, "Great, kid, don't get cocky."
Can I have the camera again?
Oh boy,
you're such a freaking nerd. Like, I can't get off of this. The Carolina Panthers, you're claiming as a hockey team, and then you just quoted. You gave us the full context of episode 4. Seriously? You weren't even alive when the movie was conceived and filmed, and then really?
Listen, if I could use this power for good, I would. I have no control over how this brain works.
I'm nerdier about it than he is, but the difference between him and I is that I don't talk about it. Yeah, that's the key.
Know your limits.
Another proverb.
Stay in your lane.
Another proverb, even a fool, if he remains silent, is considered wise. Unlike the doctor. Dear goodness.
God.
All right, we're moving on.
This is awesome. I get like a front row seat to all this.
Yeah. So the AAF folds, and they came out days before. I don't remember the guy's name. Help me. It was the guy that made the $250,000 investment over time. He became like the spokesperson. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the Hurricanes owner.
Right. So he comes out and says, "Hey, we're gonna
Dundon or whatever, Thomas Dundon, I believe.
stats."
Working on it.
Okay, we're looking it up right now. He comes out and says, hey, if the NFL does not give us active players, we're going to shut this thing down. And then like hours later, they shut it down.
Well, you know what the thing is? So I actually have 2 points here.
Okay.
Maybe more. I can't control when I get on a rant. So first one, though.
noticed.
So, yeah, with that.
Do it. Go.
Yeah, so that whole thing, the market. Why are we putting these teams in markets other than Birmingham? I actually like that idea because there's nothing out there. But why are we putting the other teams in markets where there's other, major sports franchise like baseball, basketball, other football teams? And it's like you said, they're not going to turn over any revenue. The attendance shows for itself. I think San Diego Fleet, for example, they played in the old Charger Stadium, did they not?
Yeah.
And they're getting what? 10,000. I think the one attendance game they had was like 18,000, and that's like a 60,000 seat stadium. Like you're not going to hear shit. That's a horrible.
It
turnout.
looks really bad when you.
It
It looks horrible.
Yeah.
Why not go? Okay, but my thing is like, why not go to states in like the Midwest or even northeastern states? And yes, I understand it's a spring league. You want to go to the warmer climate, but who gives a shit? Like, let's go to the league where, hey, you're going to draw fans out where there's no other sports franchises out there, right? You're the only one. That's what's going to help turn over revenue.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm pretty sure like Idaho, I think their university team has a dome. Why not check out a place like that?
Yeah.
North Dakota, they're another team. Like I think it's the Fargo Center Stadium.
Yeah.
With the Bison, they have another indoor football field. Why not, explore that avenue, something like that. But like somewhere where, you know what, hey guys, let's go somewhere else where maybe you have a better chance, a better shot to succeed. You know what I mean? I don't understand why you keep going down there when they're, it's like the Argos, for example. Like with us, we have to compete with the Maple Leafs of Toronto in the NHL, NBA's Raptors, and the Blue Jays at baseball.
Right.
And we also have an MLS team. It's very tough to compete in that market. Like we make it work, but some nights it's tough. We don't always get the greatest turnout because I also only can. Hockey's like the primary sport, right? So obviously it's Leafs first, then you got the Raptors, Blue Jays,
and then curling. Curling's the next.
Curling, curling's big too, of course. But that's exactly.
Is that a year-round sport?
Verified.
Yeah. It's all indoors. Yeah.
They train like monsters
Yeah.
up there for curling.
It's insane. But you know what I mean, though? Like, I never understood that. Like, geographically, why not go somewhere else where they don't have, where it could just be them?
Yeah.
Well, so the way they formatted the league too was kind of interesting because either where you played NFL last or where you played college dictated which team you automatically had a contract with. So I had a patient who played for Utah, and so his contract was automatically with Salt Lake City's team, and he went to an open tryout, and the Memphis team really wanted him, but he couldn't get picked up. He couldn't even talk to the GM because his contract was with Salt Lake, and Salt Lake would not release him. But they didn't want him.
Wait, they didn't want him, and then they wouldn't release him?
Yes.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's weird. See, like, that's one of the reasons why this league doesn't exist anymore. It's stupid shit. Like, sorry, pardon my swearing, but it's just stupid things like that, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is too, there's already like a riff, I think week 1 or 2, where people were always saying, hey, like the league financially is like starting to like struggle. And I feel like people are just like, whatever. Like everyone's gonna say that about like a new expansion league starting up, and they're just gonna kind of sweep the rumors on the rug. And here we are, where it was week 8, and like, hey, no, it's real. And then Dundon says, see ya, I'm pulling out. Like this league's going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick on our Facebook feed said AAF should have launched as a regional league in the South. San Antonio and Birmingham were both the biggest draws, which I think is true. I think San Antonio made sense because San Antonio has wanted a team. Like they have fought for a team and they couldn't get one. And so, like, they wanted Oakland.
Yep.
They wanted the Raiders to come and couldn't get it. And so they were like, no, we're welcoming a team. Birmingham, not the same situation, but also a team a place that was, like, welcoming and excited specifically about that and had a draw of fans that were buying in. Nick also said that Oklahoma City would have been a good place, which maybe so. There's huge football fans there, but they don't have other than OU football, obviously, which is massive down here, but at the same time...
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have basketball, and then they have the Dodgers AAA team in Oklahoma City.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But they are
But
football
you know what,
people.
though? If you have the fans that want it and are actually going to pursue to get it. Like it's like you said,
Yeah.
San Antonio. Why not? And Birmingham would be perfect because what other pro sports teams do they have there in Birmingham?
Yeah.
Do they even have one?
Where is Birmingham?
Yeah, we don't even know where it's
Alabama.
at.
It's in Alabama.
Yeah, we know the state, but we don't know where it's located.
Kind of
in the
central
state.
north.
But
Oh,
Alabama
that sounds
doesn't
terrible.
have any sports team, does it?
Outside of Alabama.
They've got the Falcons, but
No,
No,
that's
that's
Georgia.
That's Georgia.
That's
Atlanta.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's close. That's as close as they get.
close as
That's
Yeah.
what you meant.
Or
Yeah,
or
thank you.
Nashville. Nashville would be kind of close. So Tennessee Titans.
Which
So
all
they're probably
those
split.
3 hours
all those
each
fit into
way.
Texas, like into a corner. So
Yeah.
it actually we can say it's all
Texas
close.
Texas can support multiple teams because everybody here watches football.
Because we're
Yeah.
our own country.
greatest
Yeah.
nation in the world.
Yeah, we love.
Like
Football.
we could probably have 3 or 4 NFL teams in Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
they have
and
3 or
would all
4 in
survive.
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They keep cramming
Yeah,
them in
I can see
LA
that.
instead of
Yeah.
sending them over here.
Yeah,
It
LA's
makes no
going.
sense.
We don't want you, and they say, well, too bad.
Yeah.
You're taking
They're
us.
gonna
We
keep
need a
coming.
sod poodles NFL team.
You know,
LA is just absorbing every sport. They're just bringing every franchise into their like
yeah.
They're just
threshold.
Yeah.
They're just slowly.
They didn't even let San Diego have anything.
yeah.
You're done.
Oh wait, San Diego, you have that? No, never
there
mind.
it is.
That's for us.
That's
now.
ours now.
Okay, so Nick comes out and says, this is the last thing I want to mention from him. It says they had a stupid long-term dream that they would become the G League for the NFL. We were excited about that concept. When this first launched, I turned it on the first week, and I was excited to watch football again. I was like, great, we still got football. I turned it on, and I was pretty disengaged the entire time because it just, it didn't feel...
The content was not
Yeah.
quality. Of,
It just it wasn't that exciting, and once again, I was super disappointed that it just kind of feels like it flopped. And
Yeah.
No,
they
it
shouldn't.
doesn't feel like it. It did.
I mean, they had there was no support
So
from the NFL.
yeah, week
Yeah.
one, I would say like the first few weeks, I knew it was gonna kind of look kind of wonky, just because obviously the players haven't had enough time to work with each other, right?
right,
For each team. So I knew, okay, this is probably gonna take a few weeks to kind of develop the chemistry and everything to kind of come together. And I think the last 2 weeks, it was starting to look better. I mean, it was still probably a ways away from where it needed to go, but I think they knew that going into it, it was going to be a process. But I thought by week 7 and 8, it was looking better than was week 1. Week 1, it was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
It was a better product, but the fans had already left because
Yeah.
I know week
They
one.
gave up.
Yeah, week one they actually beat out NBA in viewership, but it was such a horrible product that nobody really turned back in. So it was terrible. And what's really bad about this folding is the fact that but all these players got stuck, and they got stuck with hotel bills. They had no way to get home.
they got kicked out.
There was one guy who broke his arm, had surgery, and got
Got
left with
stuck
a
with the
medical
bill?
bill.
Yeah,
Wait, what? The team didn't cover that?
No, because they're gone.
They left them high
Yeah, because
and dry.
they're not paying into the workman's comp.
Guys showed up at hotel rooms with their bags on the front, in the yard.
Yeah,
Pick up your junk and get out of here.
yeah. It was.
Oh, my.
This whole thing
It
is
was-
pretty bad.
it was ugly, man.
If they can all come together, they'll probably have a class action to sue them. But I mean, it's hard to get that many people together to say yes, because some guys just paid it and did it, and then some guys got stuck. So
Well-
the guy who plays for Utah, if you need rehab, come to Dallas. I'll take care of you.
The guy, yeah, that's a great pitch.
I forget his.
Hey, you guy,
Whoever you are.
Hey,
bud.
you guy, I got you.
Oh no, his name is Guy.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, Blake got it right.
His first name is you, and last name is Guy.
Yeah.
he's related to Darvish. So the NFL at one point though, that first week, they're like, "Hey, do not speak to an AAF player," because they hadn't officially folded yet, and so the NFL was worried about a suit coming against them from the AAF if they went to pursue. Players that played in the league, hey, you're going to get in trouble if you go after these guys until it's completely done. Here we go. And at the same time, there's a handful of guys that are going to get a shot going back into the NFL. And we'll see what happens. But disappointing to say the least of the AAF. The best thing that happened was week 1 when that dude lit that quarterback up and the helmet flew off. That was amazing. That's actually our biggest sports meme on Instagram yet. It went to I don't know how many people got 8,000 likes on it. So
you know what? Whenever I like see hits like that, whether it's hockey or football, I just look at that play like 100 times. Be like, I just say to myself, I love sports so much just for this reason.
I love it.
You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like, this is what, like, obviously you want to make sure, both parties are okay, but just like, you know what I mean? Just exciting plays, whether it's like a great goal, touchdown, a huge hit. It's just like, I just love sports, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is a great segue. This weekend I was watching a movie. There's a series of 3. It's called The Mighty
Ducks.
Quack.
Quack, quack,
Quack,
quack,
quack,
quack,
quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack. Woo! All right, Blake, take your shirt off. Let's talk hockey.
All right. So are you playing for Toronto? Are you a Toronto Maple Leafs fan or?
No, hell no.
All right.
Anti-fan. Negative fan.
No.
All right.
No, Flyers fan.
Oh, really? Flyers?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the team that has the logo that looks like a music note?
No, that's the Blues.
Oh. Well, it looks like a 64th note.
This one is close.
Just throwing that out there.
Oh man, man.
I've
did
never
you-
heard someone say that. Oh, is that the logo like a music? No.
Now
I
you
can't believe
have.
someone said St. Louis there. I was like out in the clouds there. I was like, what? I wouldn't even know who to guess.
What team did you say it was?
I've seen that logo
So
before.
he's a. I've seen it. It exists. It exists. All right. So
No, this one.
as a hockey fan, thoughts on playoffs? Who do you like? Who do you think is just going to get knocked out in the first round?
Music note.
Oh boy, jeez.
I mean, so Tampa.
Who I like?
Tampa
so,
looked good. Tampa looked good going in, but I mean they got the President's Trophy, so they're gonna lose, obviously.
No, on it. Okay.
Hey, let me.
They're good.
Honestly,
They're good.
Other than the Flyers, I knew that Tampa was going to be an absolute wagon this year, just based off their roster, up and
Yeah.
down, like back end, from goalie to forwards.
When you say wagon,
It was-
is that good?
And is that different than a canoe?
Sorry. Yeah, it's a very Canadian saying. Wagon means you're just have an absolute amazing team. Let's put it that way. A very good team.
Interesting.
A very
The
good team.
wagon.
A cup contender.
I can't wait to start using that.
Yeah.
Dude, the Browns this year, an absolute wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I'm
sounds
ready.
Good, right?
No, I love it.
Flow's nice.
Phenomenal.
Flow's nice. Yeah.
Hey,
But go ahead.
wait, I had a question and then I lost it. It was like a legit question about hockey. Crap. Go ahead, keep talking.
Well,
I'll think
Tampa.
of it.
We're talking Tampa.
Yeah. So, but to answer your question, yeah. Other than the Flyers getting eliminated, it still sucks. But I would say Tampa would be my favorite. And as far as a team getting eliminated, I honestly don't see Carolina doing much.
No.
No.
Because they're
I
the
see, but I see Columbus giving Tampa a very hard time in the first round.
Yeah, they're just a feel good story because they actually did well this season, but they got a great following because of their celebrations after the games, but they just weren't great. When I watched them and got to see them play in person, like they didn't impress me that much. Tampa, when they were here in Dallas, like even though Dallas beat them, like Tampa's still
Absolute wagon.
yeah.
Wagon.
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 Hey, so this is my question for you, and because I have very narrow views about certain things, and I kind of pick I cherry pick what I have rants on and stuff like that. So nothing is sensical with me. But at the same time, this bothers me as I'm learning more about hockey. I'm from Texas, and so there's just not a lot of hockey exposure here for those who grow up in this state, and so we do have it, but at the same time, it's just how it is. Like they feed us football to begin with, and so
Or if not football, baseball.
Yeah, and so as I'm learning more about hockey, because we have a sports podcast, as I'm learning more about it, I have in this last year learned about this President's Cup. and here's what I have a hard time with, and this has come out multiple times on this show. Like I'm a firm believer in let's give the trophy to the winner. I'm good with that. I don't like my son's 9, and if you give him a trophy for losing a tournament, I'm like, hey bro, why don't you throw that away? And I'm that dad, if that makes sense. And so the President's Cup, Dr. Graham was explaining it a couple weeks ago that the team that has the best record at the end of the season, they get this trophy, and then they never actually win the Stanley Cup. And
each player also gets $20K. It's not bad. That's a nice little cut there.
They give you $20,000.
Yeah. So I forget what. Yeah, I forget what. Yeah.
I would be
It's a little
fine.
bonus.
I would be fine with the money. I'm good with that. But I don't want the trophy for not actually winning yet. Well, how do you feel about that as a professional athlete? Are you okay with me giving you a trophy and going like, "Hey, you've done really good so far. Let's see how the playoffs go."
Well, it's no different from NFL teams that I think really win like the AFC Championship Trophy or like NFC as well. You know what I mean? Because they don't really touch it. That's kind of like how the hockey thing works. Because yes, in years past, if you win the President's Trophy, you don't. Teams are just like, okay, whatever. Yes, it's nice. We got first place and we have home ice advantage through the entire playoffs.
Right.
But so as long as you treat it that way, like, and it's hard because playoffs is obviously it's a start of a new season. It's not like, it's not like football, right? It's not just or like March Madness where it's like, okay, one game you're done. It's like it's a brutal 7-game series, right?
Yeah. Where
it goes on for like 2 months, and injuries can happen throughout the course of that time, and players just get fatigued and whatnot. So we'll see. I just think with them and like Tampa, just the depth that they have on their team is just way too much for any team to handle right now.
So here's what I appreciate, and I want to give me the camera again. I came in. I was ranting like crazy on this 2 weeks ago, and I'm talking to Dr. Blake, who's a doctor, who is our hockey expert. I've spent 2 weeks, like every time this issue comes up, it just fires me up. Zach just spent 45 seconds explaining to me why this is okay, and I'm good with it now. That's all it took. Like Zach here.
So not coming from me, it's better.
Zach can cook. He can cook them all. He can.
I can cook one too.
Yeah, he can kick one and he can cook one, but he also can take a thought and he can gather it in a understandable way in his mind and then say it out loud.
It's hard to do
in a way that you can't.
Man, ask me about shoulders, ask me about hips, knees. Like I can do that.
You have yet to fail. When I have walked in and been like, hey, when I called you that day in the gym and I was laying on the floor and I was like, I think I may have either snapped my leg or my groin just blew up. And I'm laying there like no one else will help me. I'm like, bro, you got to come get me. So Dr. Blake comes to the gym. He leaves work. He shuts down the office.
Great friend.
Yeah,
great
legit, man.
Right
I'm not kidding you.
Great guy.
My wife called him and said, hey, you got to go get Case. And so he closed down shop and came and carried me from the gym to my car and back home. And then I went in the next day, and we were in a really odd position when you were rubbing my groin out.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, someone had to do it. But 3 weeks later, I was playing the Turkey Bowl, the 10th annual Turkey Bowl. I was out there getting banged around, catching passes.
Which, Zach, if you want to come out, you're in.
Time out. What is the Turkey Bowl?
So we've been playing the Turkey Bowl, which is like Thanksgiving. You get your buddies together and play backyard football. Well,
Gotcha.
we at one point we had like 60 people showing up to this thing, but we've been playing now for 15 years.
It's been a while.
Every Thanksgiving we play the Turkey Bowl.
Been a while.
Yeah,
Been a while.
we've had broken bones. We've had,
Bent
pinkies. Bent pinkies have happened. Torn tendon. It's been
Some fights have almost broken out.
We've had fights coming up. It's a
This
decade.
thing's nuts.
Yeah,
It's great. You should come.
a decade and a half. We now play. Two of us coach at a private school in Grapevine in Texas, and so we actually play on that field now. But we've bounced from different high school fields to practice fields to the first one ever was in a
just fields.
park. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that one in the park.
Yeah.
So my question for you guys is, do you need a kicker?
Yes.
Yes. We don't
Okay.
kick, but
we don't kick,
will.
but we need you to show up.
That's not true. For years,
But do you punt? Do you punt?
we do now.
I'm a firm believer in going.
So we're
fourth
actually
down.
here. This is something we are going to do. We have what's called bent peaky awareness in August. It's for all cornerbacks and receivers who have bent pinkies. We're going to do a fun run, not like a 5K. We're just going to do 100-yard dash. But what might be fun is if we brought Zach in and let him kick for it. And like we could all start and like instead of running a 100-yard dash, he could kick and we could see who could like track the ball and try to catch it. Well, if you get enough hang
Oh my
time
god!
on it.
If I try,
So-
if I try to do that, then I pop my groin, and your friend will have to take care of me. You in an awkward spot.
It's okay. He'll be
Well,
there.
hey, he can rub out a groin like nobody's
Oh
business.
my god!
Thanks, guys.
That's all kinds of wrong. That's all kinds of wrong and right at the same time.
Hey, it's medical. It's okay.
So
Sorry.
are you taking Tampa for the NHL Stanley Cup?
Oh, see, this is where it's tough. Just because it's a 7-game series,
Right.
right? Yeah. Trying to. You know what? Okay, yes, I'm gonna say Tampa, but I would not be shocked if Pittsburgh wins it either.
Okay.
Yeah. You
Just because Sidney Crosby,
can't rule him
they've
out.
been there. Evgeny Malkin, yes, I'm being biased because Crosby's Canadian, but I mean, he's the best player on earth. I mean,
He is.
he's like the Tom
thought
Brady
Ovechkin was.
of hockey, right? It's like anytime, as long as he's in the playoffs and he has those core group of guys around him, he always has a chance. You know what I mean? So you can never count him out, but yeah, I would have to say Tampa. They're just way too stacked this year not to win it. And if they don't win it, they should sell that entire team, honestly, in my opinion.
Compare him to Oven Kitchen. I mean Ovechkin. Excuse me. We call him Oven Kitchen.
Oven Kitchen?
It just came out. Yeah. Is Ovechkin? Is he the highest paid hockey player?
No, Crosby.
Yeah.
Who's
No,
got that?
is it?
I think it's
Is it
Crosby.
I looked up stats the other day on like highest paid. Like it was like the top 5 or 6 like professional athletes, and I felt like he was at the top of the list.
Carey
Might
Price.
be Connor. Might be for
Price.
I know for no goalies he is, but I think it might be Connor McDavid now
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
from Edmonton for his
Oh,
new
yeah.
deal.
Connor McDavid
Which
got-
right, so he might be
19
like
million.
he's like the next Crosby. He's pretty much
Yeah.
on level with him, which is crazy. So Edmonton, they're like the first team since I think like the '92 Penguins to have 2 guys on their team go over like 100 points and not make the playoffs. Like they're just a complete dumpster fire. Like that franchise sucks right now.
They are
Opposite
they are,
of a wagon.
Their wagon's on
very
fire.
opposite. Like literally dumpster fire. That's
yeah.
what they are.
They are the Browns.
That should be the logo on the jersey.
Whoa! Look at
They're-
the Browns.
They are the Browns of the NHL.
Dude. Hey.
Yeah.
Also,
produce.
so my buddy Marcus, who's a big hockey fan, is not happy that you just picked Pittsburgh. He does not agree.
Dude, I hate Pittsburgh. They're Philadelphia and them are rivals. I cannot stand the Penguins, but I have to tip my hat to them because they always find a way to get it done. It's like, you know what? You just grit your teeth, but it's like with the Patriots too. You guys must
Exactly.
I know the Patriots. I'm sure you guys hate them, but it's like, you know what?
Crosby is
Much as-
Brady. Crosby is the same as
That's
Brady.
He's the GOAT. He's
Yeah.
the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
He's a goat dragging a wagon, and it just
Nothing affects that guy. That's the thing. You know what the Flyers did? Like I think a year or like 2 ago in the playoffs when they faced off in the first series, and the Philadelphia fans took photos of Crosby, cut them out, put them in urinals, each urinal in the public bathroom, and peed on him, peed on his face.
hey.
His face.
If
All over
somebody's
the arena.
if somebody's not peeing on your face, you're not doing something right. That's all I have to say. So,
That's what I mean, though. But yeah, I'm sure he was loving it, just getting that much attention, just getting pissed on. It must have been great.
Yeah. Hey, if there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Mama, we
No.
made it.
Period. That's right. Hey, Zach, Stat Guy's got some questions for you before we let you go.
All right.
Let's do it.
So I got a couple fun questions. My first one, I see you played Canadian Junior Football League for the
Right.
London Beefeaters. So
Yeah.
tell me,
Isn't
how
that a
much
gin?
how much beef
It
were
is
you
a
guys
gin.
eating on that team? And was it like
It's-
strictly a beef diet, or how did that work?
Jeez. I mean, if I had a quarter, so yeah, Canadian quarter for every time I heard that. If I had $1 for every time I heard that kind of joke. That team. Holy. No.
Good job,
It's
good
a
job.
bad
So a
game,
lot,
isn't
lot
it?
of beef or not a lot of beef? I'm super curious
Still,
about the
still need
beef.
clarification on
Before we go
It
further
is
with
kind of
this,
awkward because I'm a vegan, so.
So no
I'm
beef.
kidding.
no beef. Before we go further than this, Zach, I want to preface. I have not seen these questions, so I have no idea what he's going to ask you. And number 2, are they all like that?
The next one is going to be what his tattoo on his left arm is.
Awesome. Okay, go ahead.
Tattoo on my left arm?
Yes.
Oh, it's in Arabic.
Yeah, that's why I got confused.
He can't read Arabic, so that's why he's
Oh,
asking.
you can't? Okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. So, yeah, a couple encyclopedias later and a couple teachers, just make sure. Otherwise, I just have a bunch of writing that I have no meaning. I have no understand what it means. But,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
it just means character takes you where success cannot sustain you.
I like
So
that.
Nice.
deep thought.
That
deep
is
thought, yeah.
nice.
I'm not Arabic. My background's Portuguese, so
how
I get
fun.
asked a lot. They'll be like, "Well, why'd you get that writing done?" It's like, because I like the writing. I have to say this every time, but
Hey, same.
No.
I am Scottish and I have an Italian tattoo, so I get asked the same thing.
Yeah, I'm from Texas and I have 2 Greek tattoos.
From Arizona, no tattoos.
Well,
was that like
throwing that out
awkward,
there?
like, hey guys, I have
yeah,
no tattoos.
they don't
Yeah.
they don't allow tattoos in Arizona. It's too hot.
Just sweat on off.
Yeah.
So I'm also looking at your stats from last season for your kicking stats, and around October 12th, you stopped having any kicks. Why'd you guys stop kicking at the end of the season?
So yeah, October 12th. That was pretty much. I think we lost against BC that week. And
was
what that meant for us is that we were out of the playoffs. I think we had to win against Saskatchewan to kind of keep ourselves in the race in the East. And then once that happened, once we knew we were officially out, we took all our guys on PR and we evaluated them. So that following week, my special teams coach came up to me and said, "Hey, like, this is what's going on. We want to evaluate our whole roster." So we had a kicker named Drew Brown. I think he's from Texas too, actually. He went to Nebraska. And so they kind of want to give him a look based off of where we're not really in the race anymore. And, guys are, they want to be able to perform for jobs going into next year. So like, hey, listen, this is what's going to do. We're going to evaluate our roster. So you're still going to punt, but we're going to have him kick. So since he's mainly a kicker, so I'm like, obviously I want to do all 3, but at the same time, I understand the process. I don't make that call. The GM does. So
Trust the process.
I exactly. I'm not like AB. I'm not going to whine and sit up the game. I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to man up, and I'm going to punt the lights out.
Hey,
I like it.
yeah, literally.
I like it. Hey, are you with the Argonauts still this next season, or what does the future look like for you?
Extension.
Yeah, I did. Hey, yeah, so did the
Congrats,
research.
man.
There you go.
That's
Thank
why we
you.
have a stat guy.
Wow, go
I'm
stat guy.
There we go.
Love it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, they are stuck with me for another 2 years. So
hey,
Congratulations.
you keep kicking 70-yard punts, wind or not. And we'll keep rooting for you. Hey, man, thanks for being on tonight. We appreciate you jumping in and sharing your thoughts and being willing to spend an hour with us tonight. So appreciate you, bro.
hey guys, thank you. Honestly, this is an absolute blast, and hope to do it again down the road. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You're going to become our resident CFL/NHL expert, because apparently our expert in the room is an idiot. So, all right, man. Hey, till next time,
Absolutely.
brother. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Zach.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks,
Take
Zach.
care.
Yep, you too. All right, so on to MLB. We've got some great things that happened with the usual suspects. 2 guys that have signed major contracts this year have started their seasons out phenomenally well.
Dude, not phenomenally well. Like,
Lights out. Like Mike Trout, the comparison that was made this morning as I watched were Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle.
Which you don't like one of those people.
Correct.
So is it good? Is it a good comparison though?
I will say
Stat-wise.
this. Babe Ruth still is. I am not a Babe Ruth fan. I just am not, because I like ball players that are ball players and not guys that hit the ball and then somebody runs from first to home for you when it's gone out of the park. Like, hats off to you for swinging the bat, but go ahead and trot it out yourself.
Yeah,
You know, that's where I begin with that whole thing. But at the same time, he is a staple of baseball history. Like, the foundation of baseball was laid, and Babe Ruth was in the corner right as they did it.
Yeah.
As a stone. And so, totally respect, obviously, the career he had. If you guys want to throw stones, go ahead. That's totally fine. But at the same time, like I said, the dude's a legend, no doubt. And the fact that Mike Trout has outperformed those 2 guys with hitting 5 dingers in 3 games against our very own Texas Rangers.
I don't know how much that's. You almost need an asterisk next to that. But
Well, they're 5-5 going into today.
and the Angels are even worse.
correct.
Yes, true. They're playing under them.
Which, I mean, hats off to Mike Trout for staying with a team that's probably not going to be very good for a long time.
Yeah, because they gave all their money to Mike.
Granted, they also just got a $3 billion TV deal, so they got plenty of money to spend.
Let me ask you this. I know we're
'Kay.
talking actual baseball, but just for a second. everybody busted on Bryce for taking 330 for 13 years, and everyone was like super excited that Mike got 430 mil.
Well, so here's the deal with that, and we talked about this on the text thread, and I don't know if we clarified this last week, but he was constantly saying, I just want a family, like I want to be with the team for a long period of time,
Right.
and we knew that the Nationals had offered him 10 years, 300 million.
Right.
So looking at that, I'm going, why wouldn't you take the team that you've been with that is saying we want to keep you and we want to pay you $30 million a year? Turns
Right.
out that deal was not exactly what it seemed to be. It was actually more like 12 years on top of 100 million. It was either 100 million. They were going to pay him 200 million over those 10 years, or over those 12 years, and 100 of it was to be paid out over the next 30 years.
30.
So he wasn't going to
Years.
be finished getting paychecks from the Nationals until 2049
It was a long time from now.
or 2052, whenever his
like-
contract ends. Like it was something stupid.
was a long
So
time.
all of us harped on him, which I guess we shouldn't have because we didn't know all the details. So
Get it?
no pun intended. So I take back what I said about him not taking that deal with the Nationals because it was not as good as it seemed.
Yeah.
It was not very good, and so hats off to him. Always get as much money as you can. As a player, get as much money as possible. I will say some people are overpaid. I honestly am in the camp that Manny Machado got overpaid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think that you're overpaid?
No,
Okay.
On the show?
or just in general
On the show.
on the
Because
show.
we sat down and wrote each other's contracts already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, I'm gonna need more money.
Okay.
So just FYI. So yeah, don't blame. I don't blame him. Oh, there it is.
You're welcome.
I got some licorice, so everything's good.
I even slid it.
Yeah, I feel better now.
Goes to say-
Wait.
So-
I gotta look at it and then slide it back.
That's fine. So Bryce is actually he's the first month is living up to the deal, and so he's hit
Yeah.
3 dingers or 4 dingers so far. He's batting
4.
high 300s.
But Trout is just
385.
He's
Better.
just a tad bit
Just-
better.
Just that that much.
It's a little bit
393.
better. So they're both playing really, really well. right
but
now.
like I brought up on the text thread, Alex Bregman, he's right now having a great season, but in his last 7 games
he's
is
batting
hitting
like 475.
yeah.
That's insane.
10 for 19 in his last
Guys,
19 at
the
bats.
guy's hitting all the time. He's like, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit them all.
Why
You
not?
guys
Everything.
good with that? All right,
Everything.
great. He sat down at one point and was like, you know what would be better if I hit the ball every time I got up to bat instead of just 3 out of 10. I'll do that.
Yeah.
So sure enough, that's where he's at now.
Yeah, it's insane.
So moving on, Boston's really bad right now. Not much to say about that other than they suck. The Reds and Pirates get in a massive scuffle with
Each other?
Yasiel Puig.
Oh yeah.
Did I say his first name right?
Yasiel.
Yeah, Yasiel Puig, who seems to have a history in a recurring history of attitude leading to fights, leading to attitude, leading to fights. Did you guys see the interview after the game?
No.
The questions were pretty dumb,
Of course. 'cause-
and they were like, "So what happened that made you run on the field?"
well, we had the video.
Wait, no, we got the clip.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
So this was what
Danger.
started it. Yeah, I forget who hits it, but he just stands at the plate and
Yeah.
watches it, which is disrespectful. But hats off to you for doing it.
But it's 2019. The bat flip is huge. We celebrate things that are just. I mean, we celebrate things that no longer should fall under the camp of unwritten rules.
Yeah. So he's back.
So
And,
starting pitcher goes,
definitely-
definitely zing run by Yahani.
Yeah.
And
So
you
he gets
missed
thrown
him.
out.
No, he got a warning.
Oh, he got a warning. Well,
Yeah,
the
got a
managers,
warning.
the
That's
managers got
why-
really upset.
That's why Bell runs out, or whatever his name is, runs out and starts chewing this guy.
So I think the Reds
that.
manager. I
Look
think the
at
Reds
that.
manager got thrown out immediately. And so now the bench is clear, of course.
Right.
because that's what you do. Even if you have no idea what's going on, you just trot out
But
there.
look, now Puig is in this thing. That's what's going on. Like, he's not even on the field, and Puig runs out. Like, who's the only guy that's really causing any kind of issue?
Yeah, his own
is
guys.
Puig.
His own guys are holding him back.
Yeah.
I love that the pitchers come.
Here comes the bullpen. Hold on. Hey, guys, hold on.
They're
Hold on. Wait
always
for
late.
us. Wait for us. Okay, we're here. We can start.
we
Well, we gotta go, I guess.
we are. Yeah, they're all sitting in the bullpen in the right.
They got.
I would Case,
Look at that guy in the back. He's like, "Dang it, I'm late."
Case, as a bullpen catcher, are you running out there?
As a bullpen catcher, in a instance like this, I am probably going to be the second or third guy at the fight for two reasons. One, I'm a lot smaller than those guys, and so I want to make sure my camera time makes me look like I'm still fit and should be there. And then number two, I want to be seen and then just kind of fade because I don't want to get in a fight with those guys because they're so freaking big.
Well, you got the catcher's gear on,
Yeah.
so you're okay.
But I get so amped up, like I'm gonna be like, boom, I'm out here. Yeah, all right, just get out of the way. And somebody hold me back. Like that's what I want. I want my camera time. I want to look fit, and somebody hold me back, and I just want to go. I just want to walk back. So I'm
and
good with that.
Just go back and sip Gatorade.
He's still fighting.
Yeah.
Still fighting.
And no offense, that's as close as to on the field as you're going to get as a bullpen catcher.
Yeah.
So you
I'm
might as
good
well
with
get
that.
on the field.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Any
oh
of
man,
you
the grass
guys
out here is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're,
Anybody?
they're still going at it. He is still
He's
hot.
again, like it didn't even hit the guy.
You could probably call him red hot.
Oh, I get it. There's another one. Like you don't have a jersey on, man. You're not wearing a hat.
That's their closing pitcher.
Yeah. So he came in from the bullpen.
He actually
Really
came in
mad.
from the locker room.
He wasn't even dressed yet. That's how late he
guys,
shows
I was
up.
taking a dump. I didn't even tie my pants yet.
Well, so most relief pitchers honestly don't even show up till the third or fourth inning. Like they don't dress until that point.
Which I know that because as a bullpen catcher and warming those guys up, I know I'm always the only one out there waiting.
In your full gear.
Yeah, well, I get
always.
guys, I have a routine. I get dressed early, and so I prep the night before. All my stuff is laid out. It's ready to go. I'm choosing what flare I'm going to wear, what socks, what shoes combo, all that kind of
I've
stuff.
seen this. This is real life.
Because I'm going to be late to the show. I'm going to forget things, but if I am competing or just even acting like I'm competing, I'm going to be ready to roll.
So that's what we need to tell you is like, hey, by the way, we're going head to head against another podcast on Monday nights.
Yeah, I'll be here early, ready to go.
with
Outfit laid
sweatbands.
out. Yeah, I'd be fully prepped. No problem. So Sod Poodles update tonight was opening night for the home stadium. Obviously, they opened up against down south, Galveston. Not Galveston, Corpus Christi, excuse me.
There it
They
is.
opened up against Corpus Christi, had a few games there. They did wear the powder blues on one of those games, so they looked pretty sweet. They also wore the grays a couple times. Didn't really like those as much, but the powder blues look pretty solid. Tonight, I think they're wearing the whites. What's the score right now? Sod Poodle update.
So it's in the 10th inning. Sorry, Pepper, I didn't mean to take that away from
No,
you.
go for it.
All right, so they are in the top of the 10th inning. Midland is up 7-4.
They just scored 3 in the top. Midland did.
Wow.
So
That's a dinger zinger for
yeah, unfortunately,
The Amarillians.
they are 1-3 on the season, but it's a
How
long
was,
season.
How did Potts do tonight? Our favorite Sod Poodle player.
I don't think they get that specific with AAA stats.
Oh, they don't.
Well, it's AA, so maybe.
So definitely not AA.
Guys, my dad just said since I was 3, I was getting dressed that way. So
That seems about right.
just throwing that out there. It's been from early on that I've prepped like this.
Well,
So my wife is a fashion consultant, and so we deal like we own a business in fashion. That's how we make our living and eat and feed our children.
it's not this podcast?
No, but eventually it will be. But our laundry, when it gets dumped out, like after it's clean and we dump it out to fold it, mine is usually 2 to 3 times larger than hers. Not because the sizes are bigger, because we typically wear around the same size. Not because she's big. She's actually small. I just wear small clothes most of the time.
Not because you're small, but you
Yeah.
just wear small.
So when my dad said he's been getting dressed that way since he was 3, it means he's actually still wearing some
The
of the
same
same
clothes.
things as when I was 3 to get ready. So Sod Poodles are doing okay right now. competitive. But
Slow start, but
Slow
you
start,
know.
but we're going to pick it up, and we're
Yeah.
going to get there. And so we're huge fans, the biggest supporters of the Sod Poodles. If you've not been out to a game in Amarillo, make sure you go on and get those done. Order your hats and your flair and your jerseys and all that kind of stuff. They're going to be sending ours within hours, I think, of this podcast ending.
Absolutely.
No doubt, as we continue to support the Sod Poodles, regardless of what happens. We are not fair weather. We are wagon fans, as we've coined that phrase here in Texas.
We got to buy a little wagon, set it here.
With a Sod Poodle in
Yeah.
it. It'll be great. It's going to go
Alive.
amazing.
Oh.
So, anyways, moving on from MLB, we've got the national championship for NCAA. The tourney is ending right now. We have 4 people who have a shot to win the Bushy bracket, and you are one of them, Pepper. You're one of them.
I cannot win it,
No, he can't win.
unfortunately, because
You
there's
can.
two other people have picked Tech to win. So, but I can finish
Oh, they did?
third.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Tyson was actually one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Tyson
know that.
can win it.
Tyson did. There's one.
one other
There's
person.
Pittsburgh Pisces.
Mhm.
They can win.
Yeah.
Case, you can still win if Virginia
If
wins.
Virginia wins, then I can win. I will. If Virginia wins, I
You
do
will win.
Which Virginia is up 59-53. It's been a back and forth battle.
It's been a real barn burner.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
which we knew it would be. 2 great defenses, and
This is the textbook wagon off. What
Yeah.
they call it.
textbook
north.
wagon off. I just said wagon off.
Nailed it.
And this is when I bring the music in.
Can we get that fade in?
Show is over. Officially, forever. We're never coming on air again.
Wagging off.
Every week, here we are.
We can't keep saying it.
Instead of
Oh.
signing off, we'll just.
All right. So Crawford is leading right now. Matty McGraw is still number 2, and then I'm bringing up 3. You're sitting 4. Seeing who wins is going to be wrapped up tonight. So
Well, Tech just brought it to 3 points.
it's 59-56 at this point, and we will update you if
I will say
where are we at right now, quarter wise.
It's the second half, and there's 4 minutes left.
Okay, so it's coming down to the wire.
Did
I like
anybody
it.
see the riots that broke out in Lubbock the other night?
Yes.
How unreal
Yeah.
that is.
Well, did you see the article I sent you guys earlier today about Texas
Safety?
Tech actually canceled classes tonight and urged the students to celebrate, quote unquote, responsibly.
Yeah.
And I said, I have never known anybody from Tech to celebrate responsibly. If there's one attribution to Texas Tech, responsible partying is not on the top of that list.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like,
But granted, what else is there to do in Lubbock? It's like being in Amarillo.
Well, now they
They got
Lubbock
the sod
was-
poodles.
you
Yeah.
can watch the show.
Well, you watch us, yeah.
This is happening
hey,
Monday nights.
It's a 1-point game now.
Guys, we have a fan base in Amarillo. Now my family lives there, and so there's a lot of family fan base, but at the same time we
have a hold in Amarillo.
we've put a stake in the ground in Amarillo. It's how it is.
And we're the official unofficial sponsor for the Sod Poodles, which is a team in Amarillo. So you really don't get more big time than that.
No.
This is living the dream.
So hey, Sod Poodles.
Catch us while we're on our peak.
We're trending up. It's good to get on the wagon before it's referred to as they are a wagon right now. If you're already on the wagon, you're like, man, you've been on a wagon for a while. Like when we put this show together and we said, hey, like something that's never going to happen. Like you can't break us up. Like we started in the wagon together and we're all going to get paid the same as the wagon moves down the wagon trail.
Yep.
I feel like this is the Seinfeld episode about the alcoholic, and like he gets off the wagon and
Yeah.
it's like, well, if he drinks again, does he get on the wagon?
Yeah.
And there's a whole discussion on like who's on the wagon, who's off the wagon. It's very confusing.
Only you would bring up Seinfeld in a moment like this.
Well, a lot of wagon
Or
talk.
Star Wars.
Or Star Wars.
Guys,
So-
I apologize.
Hey, that's fine. It is now 59-58. Tech is knocking on the door of taking the lead.
There
was
it
good.
is.
That was good.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I should have mic'd mine.
You got the spring in there too, so you know it's good.
Good spring reverb. That's what that is.
It's my favorite.
Hey, you remember when we were doing those beatbox things?
Oh no! Please don't! Please don't!
No, we're not going to.
Okay, thank goodness.
Okay, so
Super good.
March Madness will end tonight, and it's April. Why do they call it March Madness if it ends in April?
Well, it used to be all in March.
Then they
should
added the
call it-
homeschool kids.
They should-
and they had to push it out.
They should call it March Madness and homeschool kids celebrating Easter with basketball.
I like
That's
it.
what it should be called.
That's
I
catchier.
think it's
Saying.
And then they
I think there's something there.
use a basketball with an Easter egg
Yeah.
painted.
So
ball.
it bounces
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. That's a dumb idea. I'm
Or
sorry,
they
guys.
just use a giant egg and it'll crack.
Yeah.
So, Saturday night, Auburn and Virginia, very close game, ends in what everyone said was a controversial call. Did you guys see?
I saw the call.
Harry, there's less than
thought
3
it
minutes
was-
right now.
I thought it was a legit call. I mean,
I thought, yeah, it was a
if
foul.
you look at it, the Virginia shooter is
He's up in the air.
midair before he's still got the ball in his hands, and the Auburn defender totally,
The
But-
fact that he drained
Run.
3 in
That's
a row
Yeah,
to win the game, that's
Yeah, I think
clutch.
they interviewed him. He said he was scared for his life or something along those lines, which I think everybody in the world would be.
yeah.
And I'm glad it was him and not somebody.
It's tied 59-59. Greg Davis just asked, "Do y'all show the game?" We don't show the game because of rights to the game. We'll get sued, and it's illegal. So we don't show. We are watching it. If you have X-ray vision, you can see through this screen right here. The game is on right now. So stats is. What are you looking at over there?
Watching the foul that you guys were just talking
That's
about.
fair. Hey, if you don't follow us on Instagram, you can follow us at BL Sports Show. Go to Instagram. We do funny sports memes and sports debates. Catch us there. Throw in your thoughts and comments just like you can during the show. We were going to talk some NBA, but we've been going for a while now, so it's about time to wrap the show.
also not much going on.
Well, quick thoughts. The Warriors are still winning, and James Harden keeps sinking shots when he shoots them.
Well, I don't know what his field goal percentage is. I think he takes a lot of shots, but they did set the record for most 3-pointers in a game the other night. Was it 29 3-pointers or 27?
I don't remember.
It was a lot.
I know he scored a lot of points.
Yeah, he's scoring a lot of points. He also takes a lot of shots.
Yeah, well,
You
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
100%.
That's a hockey quote right there
From Wayne Gretzky.
from Michael Scott.
From Michael Scott that gets attributed to Wayne Gretzky that probably actually didn't say it. So regardless, whatever. There are some things happening NBA-wise, but we're not going to go there just because. However, LeBron was talking to KD the other day on the court, oddly enough, doing some baseball, like, we're going to talk about you coming on Space Jam, and I don't want anybody to know about it.
Yeah.
Come play in LA with me next year because we suck real bad.
I honestly think the conversation was absolutely nothing. LeBron knows if he does that, people are going to speculate, and
yeah.
it gets circulated around. So if KD is smart, and I believe he is, he's not going to go to LA.
This is what
There's
I know.
already been reports that it's a
New
done
York.
deal for New York, which
Yeah.
I find that so hard to believe. but
Why would you want to
With
go
the
play
Knicks?
for
yeah, with the
Nolan?
Knicks.
God, the worst owner in sports.
I feel like New York's not what it used to be.
No, and because of James Dolan.
I got to do this again?
The Knicks
Okay,
is not what
all
it.
right.
I mean, everybody. Oh, go play in the Garden.
Pancakes.
Cool.
Pancakes.
Hey,
I get to go play for a horrible owner, but the pancakes are really good.
Won't do it.
No, I don't. I think he's going to New York though because then
hey,
he can be part of a build up.
and he can be the star.
Yep.
So
I think he will be more hated than he already is if he goes anywhere else. I
If-
mean,
if
it doesn't
he-
matter what team he goes to. If he leaves where he's at, he will be hated.
If he leaves to join an existing All Star, it's not going to look good. But if him and a couple other guys go meet up in New York, that's different.
you want another.
Always.
Okay.
You're really fattening me up today.
I'm just trying to help. Trying to get you ready for
Feel
the
like-
next weight loss challenge.
I feel like I'm about to get slaughtered.
Virginia is up 63-61
Getting
with
fattened
2:15
up.
left.
you can't win weight loss challenges unless you gain weight to get ready to lose it. So you're in a building. It's called a bulking phase.
Okay.
So you're just getting ready. So
I didn't know I was going to be doing another one of these.
no, that's
so-
okay. I'm just helping you. You're good at them.
Okay.
So like, find your lane and stay in it.
All right,
so
cool.
you roast
Just keep
beans,
going up
you
and down, up and down,
produce
up and
shows,
down.
and you win weight loss contests. Like it's just that's what you do,
All right.
and you do it well. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Give us the Bush push, which means share the show, use your voice, the voice of the Bushies. We'll go back and respond to anything that we didn't catch. We're on every Monday night. Catch us on at BL Sports Show. You can also go to iTunes, Bush League Sports Show, subscribe and leave a review. You can catch us on your way to work. It's a great way to listen to anything that you missed. This thing is funny. Like when I go back and listen, we are a funny show. Like I can't work out and listen at the same time because I laugh. It is 65-64, and is Virginia still winning?
By one.
By one. Wow, what a nail biter. Go watch the game if you want to watch it. And if not, just watch this thing again. So thanks
Watch
for being
us
here.
after.
Watch us after. Thanks for being here. And we will see you next Monday night.